Hello and welcome to another episode of Swim Sets by the Pool. This is the podcast where you get free swim workouts and tips that will help you swim better, guaranteed. My name is Nathan Cohen. I'm a professional triathlete. And with me is Kyle Brill, two-time Olympic trial swimmer, Division I collegiate, NCAA conference champion, Western Conference?
Oh no, Big West.
Big
Close enough.
West conference champion.
Uh,
Kyle, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for the light electric intro as usual. Yeah, just I'm doing great. It's good to be here today. I'm excited to get another episode in and yeah, talk to you about just a special, yeah, not a special set, but a set that I actually coach because I'm doing part-time masters coaching once in a while. So shout out to all the if you're one of my swimmers that watches the podcast, shout out to you for doing this set at some point. But yeah, Nate, feel free to feel free to share the quick tip that you have.
I got a quick tip, but
Yeah.
yeah, I did want to say one thing. Kyle is like one of the most humble guys. I think didn't you go to the Olympic trials when you were like 17 for the first time?
Well, I think I swam when I was 18, but I qualified before that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess I
What
was.
were you guys doing when you were 17? I know I was just like in a band trying to pick up chicks. But yeah, I wasn't doing
Whoa.
much athletically when I was 17.
Like a kid with the van that says candy on it. You were just driving around like, hey.
No, I had a pickup truck and a guitar
Oh, okay.
and I just would sit and play my guitar and stuff and
Oh,
yeah.
it must have worked though. You got Jenny now,
I
so
have a
it's
beautiful
perfect.
wife now. So, hey, playing guitar, I can recommend it if you're struggling with finding a relationship. Anyways,
That's
quick,
awesome. Yeah,
I don't know why
when
we
I was
should.
17 though, I was still up to no good. I was sneaking into plenty of closed down COVID pools because it was COVID time and I was
Oh,
just running
dang.
into the most like yeah, I was swimming in a wetsuit in like unheated pools in the middle of March, like trying to like crank out any yardage I could, and then I'd run away from the security guard when they found me, and it all paid off eventually, but it was definitely not the most like mature adult thing I could have been doing, I'd say. There was
Yeah. Hey,
definitely
you were
still some
dedicated. You were
17-year-old.
dedicated to the craft.
Yeah,
I
exactly. Just like,
swam during COVID. I swam in someone's backyard pool. It's like one of those kidney bean, but I tied myself to like a bungee. So I just swim in place for like 30 minutes like a psycho.
that's awesome. I hadn't discovered the bungee strategy by then, so I was just doing like stupid laps. Shout out to Alexa though. Your pool is awesome. Thanks for letting me use it. But yeah,
Nice.
that was it was interesting time, wasn't it? For especially for swimmers. Bikers and runners had it easy during COVID.
Yeah, that's for sure. Anyways, yeah, so that was that was a weird intro, but let's get back to the podcast. I've got a quick tip to start us off before we dive into the set that Kyle brought us today. My quick tip is if you really want to improve your swim stroke, find a swim coach or someone who does swim lessons to watch you swim in person. Because I always say this, that expression in your mind's eye lies to you. What you think you're doing in the water oftentimes is not what you're actually doing. So you could watch all these videos on like swim like technique and all this stuff and you can watch like Olympic swimmers swimming with like perfect technique and then you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm totally doing a high elbow catch or my hand entry is really good." But then if you actually like see a video of yourself, you're not doing what you think you're doing. So like to have someone watch you in person who knows what you're trying to accomplish and knows like what tips to give you to help you swim better could really help you improve your swim so fast. And it doesn't have to even be crazy. It could be like your friend who like swam in college and you like get him to come to the pool with you one day and he like watches you swim and is like, oh, maybe you should try this. That's my quick tip.
Yeah, it literally one simple question can like change your form for the better for like years and years and years to come. It can be so crucial. Just somebody like you could be doing something so drastically wrong that somebody could quickly point out, you tweak it, and boom, you are 20% more efficient now permanently once you make that change. It's like that one, high elbow catch, crossing over is another big one. So many people cross over their body and they think they're swimming straight, and you tell them they're crossing over and they're like, no, I'm not. But they're crossing over so much more than they realize. And it's like
Hmm.
you gotta at least like let somebody look at you. You gotta look and like let yeah, you don't have a mirror when you're swimming. It's hard.
Yeah, for sure. And the key to that is you have to ask because like even some of these masters swim groups and stuff, the coaches will be there and they'll give a swim workout and they won't necessarily like give you tips on your form just like unprompted. But I'm sure if you ask your master's coach or whoever like looks really fast at the pool, they would probably be like, "Oh yeah, I'll totally give you this tip or whatever." You know, so just ask. That's the key.
Yeah, the first thing I was told as a master's coach by the guy that was coaching me was like, hey, don't like feel free to give people technique tips, but just know not everybody at masters wants these technique tips. Like a lot of people just want to do their thing, but then a lot of people want to learn. So as a coach, you kind of just are a lot more passive. You sit there and you kind of just watch, and you don't want to be too intrusive unless you see like the most major like malfunction happening. So you just when people do come up to me and ask and say, "Hey, can you look at my stroke? Like next practice, I want you to watch me." I'm like, "Thank you." Like now I have something to look at. It's great. It's super helpful for me. It's super helpful for them. There's no harm in it at all. So yeah, good tip.
Nice. That's awesome. So, Kyle, tell us about the set that you brought us today. You said you coached it for Masters. Who wrote the set? Give us the deets.
Yeah. So let's jump into it. I didn't write the set personally, just to foreclose that. Mark Story, a guest we had actually live on the pool deck a few weeks ago, wrote it. He's the head coach of Santa Barbara Masters, and all of us minions that help him out, we will go through his sets, read them out. There's always a morning group and evening group. So I did the Wednesday evening group this day. And it was Wednesdays for our masters team is mostly our freestyle, like aerobic or like kind of like threshold sets. So just a lot of like, it is very similar to what a lot of triathletes will do. So it was kind of a fun set to pick for this podcast too. A lot of freestyle, kind of at a hard pace, but it is structured, which is really nice. So not a yeah. So you warm up with a 300 choice equipment and base plus 30, and before that. Everyone's given a 10-minute grace period to either get in right when that 300 starts or kind of just do their own warm up. So for a lot of people, they're hopping in before this, they're flushing out, they're stopping at the wall a little bit, fixing their goggles, going to the bathroom, whatever people are going to do before their warm up. So anyway, I get them all together 10 minutes into the practice and we start that 300 with choice equipment. I think that's kind of a fun way to warm up with that choice equipment because if you feel like something's kind of tight or sore, this is a set written for a very, very wide range of people. We have swimmers in here, we have triathletes, we have very old people, we have very young people. Like some people's legs and hips are really tight and they need to wear their fins right away. Other people they want to loosen up their shoulders, they'll use a paddle or snorkel. Like so, it's kind of a nice generic way to give everybody a chance to do what they need to do before the set starts.
Nice. And then, yeah, so you do 8 by 25. What is BR?
That's breathe every 5 strokes.
Oh,
So
okay. Nice.
yeah. And I like these odd breathing patterns. So sometimes like they piss off people that like to breathe to one side, but they really do kind of help balance out your breathing. Like if you breathe every 2 strokes, you breathe every 4 strokes, like you're not getting that breath to the other side. You're engaging those muscles differently on that one side, which is not a terrible thing because swimming doesn't grow your muscle like all that much and doesn't create that many imbalances. But it is really nice to once in a while like hammer in that other breath because if you're coming into a wall at the wrong angle or with the wrong stroke count or you need to breathe on the other side, it is just really nice to get comfortable and familiar with it. And when you set those breathing patterns kind of early before you really start the main set, it does really like let your body like as you're kind of getting used to your stroke, feeling your stroke out, get used to kind of also incorporating being comfortable breathing to that other side. So I do really like those odd patterns that Mark tends to do those a lot compared to other coaches, which is kind of a cool touch on that 825s.
Nice. That's awesome. So what's next?
So then yeah, we have 2 rounds with fins. This is still part of the warm up. It seems like it's going to be 450s at base. So I think a lot of people use the base system with swimming.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of a cool system when you're working with a super wide range of athletes of all different speeds. It when you're in a hyper specific group like pure swimming, base is usually not an incorporated element, but I think in triathlon I see it, in masters I see it more often. It's just you have a base interval. What that base means to you could be different. A lot of people, it's kind of like what could they make, say, 5 100s on? What's like, or maybe 10 100s. But other people, it's like it's a lot easier because they don't really want to like push themselves as hard. But base is kind of like a very difficult effort that you can sustainably make if you're putting in a lot of work is kind of what I understand. But every coach kind of and swimmer kind of interprets it differently. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with fins, 450s on base is still kind of difficult for people that are really on their like that whose base is pretty ambitious, but it's enough to, with fins, it's enough to kind of get you through it, get you moving, get your heart rate up. And then yeah, 2 100s at base plus 20, so a little bit of a slowdown there because there's some kicking.
Hmm.
Still with fins, so you're gonna be moving a little bit quicker, getting the legs going. It's fast kick and then smooth swim. So it's a 50 fast kick, 50 smooth swim, which that's kind of a long kick, long course for warm up. But I
Hmm.
think a lot of masters and swimmers interpret that as more of a strong kick. So it can kind
Yeah.
of be implied to do what you need to do to kind of still warm up there. And then 425s after that variable speed,
Hmm.
which is a variable speed is like you're kind of working your easy and fast. You're kind of getting to your max speed just so like you can really warm up and really get those muscles firing. So when a 425's variable would look like the first 25, it's like half the lap fast, half the lap easy. Then the second 25 would be like half the lap easy, half a lap fast. And then the third 25 would be like all fast. And then the fourth 25 would be all easy or
Hmm.
some close variation to that. That's kind of what people tend to do with a variable speed. But you're basically just jumping up and down in speed big time. So you can get used to that change in stroke rate, that change of pace. So you know what that feels like to kind of zap your body.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah.
for a long course pool, do you just have them stop in the middle for 25s?
That's yeah, traditionally that's kind of the way to go. You just stop in the middle. There's a at Los Baños where we practice, there's a nice little red marker on the bottom and the lifeguard tower that kind of marks the halfway point, but everyone kind of just stops at roughly halfway. So it's a nice way to kind of just add some fun and some complexity into the workout so it's not always ending at a wall too. So yeah, it is really hard with long course to do shorter burst things without having to kind of stop in the mid pool or swim easy at some point and go
Hmm.
wall to wall. So it's kind of a fun way to still do speed play while being able to not really burn yourself out hard.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's a solid warm up. And yeah, I think that's cool. You're working in a lot of different areas, and I like that you're using a little bit of equipment. I'm sure like the masters love that a little bit. And yeah, the variables are super solid, just touching on a little bit of that like top end speed. And it's not like very long, it's like half a lap, So
Yeah.
it's just a little bit, just to feel it. And yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And this is a fun little set, like main set going on. So I'm just gonna read it out. It's three
Yeah.
times 5 100s. So 3 rounds of 5 1s, and the first round is base plus 10. You descend 1 through 3, and then you do the fourth one easy, and the fifth one fast. And then the second round is on your base. Then the third round is base plus 20, best average. So as fast as you can go for 5 100s. And then so my only question is, what about that round two? Like, is that like up to you how hard you want to go, or are you still trying to get them to swim pretty hard for that, or what's the goal?
Yeah, so that's kind of an interesting one because it's such a different like it's kind of a different experience for everybody because like when I
Hmm.
swim at Masters our fastest base lane is 130. Once in a while 120 lane will form kind of on the wall, but um yeah, so for some people, that round two is going to be brutal. They might want to think even about putting fins on to make sure they make it because some people swim right at their bases, right where they can make it, and they can't go much faster than that. But
Hmm.
there's also people that, when they do 100, at a moderate pace, they might go 110. And so round two at base is almost just like a recovery round, if anything.
Yeah.
It's kind of like holding tempo. So I think everybody kind of approaches the set differently, which is interesting. So that's why I thought it would be interesting to put it on the podcast, is because like
Yeah.
everybody could look at this set and people would disagree, I think, on which round is the hardest round here. It's like the round one is got speed play, you're doing descents and you're barely above your base. So like you're already like if you're pushing that base, it's going to be kind of hard to descend. And then that fourth one isn't going to be that easy because you're right on your base. And then
Hmm.
that fifth one being fast isn't maybe going to be that fast if you're right on your base because you've been spending so much energy trying to
Yeah.
stay with this interval.
But
So
also, if you go fast, then it's gonna be pretty hard.
oh, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. And yeah, if you're a faster swimmer, this could be really hard too, because you're really pushing those descents and then you're really trying to go on hard on that last one. So it is interesting. So I saw a lot of different mixed reactions and I saw a lot of discussion while I was coaching about which round is the bad one here, like which one is going to get me or are all of them hard.
Hmm.
So it was really interesting to hear people's opinions on that. And I don't know if Mark intended that or not, but it just definitely came out that way during the practice. So
Yeah, I mean, the way I would do it is I would kind of make the round two more of like a tempo, more like easier round personally. Like I would pick a more conservative base interval, and
yeah,
then I would really push the descend and then the fast one, and then the
yeah,
best average. I would really try and go hard on the
yeah.
best average.
Yeah, personally, that would be my way of handling it. I think if I could do this set like ideally feeling good, I'd want round one to be like still kind of my warm up round, my fifth one to feel really fast. Yeah, my round two to kind of just be like getting that yardage in, keeping my heart rate high, getting some fatigue built up, and then round three when I'm kind of a little more tired, a little more beat up, I can really try to slam it and like just finish it strong. So yeah, it is really interesting. The bases tend to not change. So when people pick like you go in the 130 lane, the base will stay 130 from warm up down to the end of the main set.
Yeah.
So it is really interesting if someone did want to tweak that base, how they would have to attempt that. So that's where usually the fins come out to compensate.
Yeah, yeah.
But it is interesting that yeah, you could approach that by yeah, just trying to survive that set or by really playing with your speed on that set because it does definitely slow down by round three. So if you're barely making that base, round three is your ticket out. Like that's your ticket to just kind of like get through the last five because you've tried so hard on round two to hang on to that base, you know what I mean? But if you're a faster swimmer, now round three is going to be your problem because now you have the energy to really hammer it and you have extra time to rest on the wall and it's
Hmm.
best average. You want to average that for anyone that doesn't know what best average means, by the way, it's like if you were to like take all of those swims the first swim through the fifth 100 and average out all the times, you want the fastest average time. So that means you wouldn't blow yourself up and go super hard on the first one, and you also wouldn't save up and only sprint on the last one. You'd want to be like consistently fast. You'd want to go like double O, double O, double O, double O instead of, you know, 55 and then 110, 110, 110, 110, and then 55
115.
again, you know? Yeah, or something, So
Yeah,
like you definitely want to like the best average is like not meant to be fast. It's meant to be like very strong each one, but a
yeah.
sustainable strength. Like it's you're not supposed to fall off the wagon.
Yeah, I feel like the best average is really good for like those back half of the race and like distance swims because you're not swimming your fastest usually at the end of a long distance race. Um, but you're swimming strong and you want to be swimming strong because like people are going to be making moves and stuff and you want to like be in that pack.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so yeah, I think if you really like, if you did well in the descending, you did the fifth one fast, and then you took round two kind of chill, and then did a really solid best average. That's like a really good like sprint triathlon workout. I feel like if you're like trying to hit a fast like 750 swim,
Yeah.
like I feel like this could be you get a lot of good quality in at
That's
those
what
like
I'm thinking.
bases.
Yeah, and it's proportioned well. I think you're not doing a lot of yardage where you're just stuck out in the middle of the pool and you're
Hmm.
like you're not you're it's very like you're getting a lot of time to just hit the wall, hit the wall, hit the wall, but you're also still moving through the set the whole time. And it's proportioned out to where you do get a break. So I feel like it's approachable. It's hard enough to go fast, but it's long enough and like that you can get good aerobic freestyle in at the same time. So it's kind of a nice, yeah, I do think it would mimic either a 500 free like pretty well, or it would mimic a set like a sprint triathlon that's like 750 meters. It would do really well in that kind of target range. So I think that would be pretty cool. But
Nice. Well, sweet, Kyle. Thanks for bringing this set. This is a really good one. I'm just thinking, I'm like, man, I want to get back to swimming. I would love to do this set. I'd love to rip it. I'll get
yeah,
back
go
there.
there. We'll
I'll
do
be
it
back.
together when you're healthy. We'll do it together. It'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Mark has just such good sets. If you want to check out Mark's episode, it's a couple episodes back. We filmed it live by the pool where he coaches masters at in Santa Barbara. Really good set, and he has some great insights. But Kyle, you're gonna close us out with a hot take today.
Yeah, so hot take here. It's I don't know how hot it is, but I think my opinion on it is so drastic that people might get mad about it. Is
That's
if
perfect.
you are a swimmer or a triathlete or you care about your swimming performance and you seasonally compete and you need to get back in shape for something later on, do not get out of the water. You need to stay in the water consistently at least. You cannot spend multiple months out of the pool. I know a break is extremely important for a lot of people, but if you need to get back in shape within a calendar year or a calendar season, you have to be at least semi-consistently swimming, even if it's relaxed at your own with your buddies, keeping it easy. I've seen too many people spend way too much time out of the water and they come back acting like everything's going to be fine and they just get smacked in the face with reality. And it's I've seen it every time and time again. And there's a few people that can genetically get through that, but almost every single person, even at the elite level, needs to at least hop in the pool at some point and do something with themselves and keep the feel of the water. Because if you let those muscles rest for too long, your aerobic swimming fitness, you'll never lose the stroke, but your aerobic swimming fitness can drop so fast if you spend time out of the pool. But if you just do maintenance, that's my hot take is just you can't if you unless you need that break for multiple months, do not take that multiple month break. It is not going to be worth it. It's going to be so much harder to get back to where you were. That's my
Nice.
yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Kyle. That was great. I hope you guys liked this episode. If you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to try and be posting some more interesting shorts and some other tips and stuff. We might even do a live episode of me and Kyle doing a swim workout because I posted a thing about that. And yeah, we're just going to be posting more stuff, just trying to help people swim better. So yeah, share this with your friend who you want to be a fast swimmer like you. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.